okay, this is the island, you're on Survivor, and you need a fighter for weight loss. What? And I would honestly just pull out a waist trainer. Like, I would. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited. This is my first ever YouTube video. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So I decided to open a YouTube channel because I recently just opened an online store called M&D Shapewear. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Mine Ntlonolwazi Dlamini. So M&D Shapewear. Yeah, it makes sense. So yeah, we sell all things body. Actually, it's just about wellness and just embracing people's bodies, and we just try to find the tools to make you and help you celebrate your body. I'm actually wearing one of our zipper waist trainers right now. And that's currently on promotion. So yeah, please get yours on the link below. And yeah, so this is why I'm making this video, because I have just opened the store, and I get a lot of questions that I get asked when, you know, customers come to me trying to find the right waist trainer. And some people that are new to waist training, like the biggest question that I always get asked is, does it work? Does waist training work? So I'm here to answer that big question. And as you can see in my thumbnail, I'm going to try also put it up here or wherever, somewhere, so that you can see what waist training has done for me. I'm briefly just going to tell you, I also have just notes here on my phone. So please, I'm cheated, really. I really am just trying to remember all the things so that I hate these long YouTube videos. So yeah, I'm going to try to stick to So I'm just going to briefly go over what waist training is, what it did for me, as well as some tips when it comes to waist training and how you get waist training to work for you. Okay, so what is waist training? Waist training is the process of like decreasing or like reducing the size of your waist or accentuating your curves, whether it be flattening your tummy and wanting to accentuate your hourglass figure. Like, that is what waist training is. Typically this is done with waist trainers, clinches. I'm sure you guys have seen those tight corsets with the ropes and like the strings. That is what waist training is. And if you're African, like our moms used to do it whenever they gave birth, after giving birth, and they tie like this grass belt, and I'm like, whoa, hectic. Now we got these lovely waist trainers, no grass, and yeah. So that is what waist training is. I think it's not like it's not a cosmetic surgery. It's not a permanent thing. Obviously, you're gonna get serious effects if you're doing it excessively, but it's a semi-permanent effect. So if you do stop waist training for a while, you're not gonna stay in your figure for too long. So it is advisable that you stay consistent with waist training, and also just don't go too hard too long. I think it's very important for you to understand what works for your body, and then just work on that and understand your goals. Now I'm just going to talk about my waist training journey. So my waist training journey actually started in 2015. I purchased my first waist trainer in 2015. I went through my first year spread. Like, I was so big off the first year. That was ridiculous. Like, that rest food was a lot. So that's when I realized that waist training works for me. So I was on and off it. So every time I felt like I got to a point where I was happy with it and I was good with my body and I was happy with the way I look, I would stop for a bit, typically because I'm the type of person that gets really bored of doing the same thing over and over again. So what I do is I take breaks between my waist training seasons. So I did that, and at the beginning of this year, so 2020, I actually was now at 67 kgs, and I was like, hey girl, that's big for me because I'm typically someone who, I've got small titties, so if my tummy is big, it doesn't look too cute, okay, like, I need to do something. So that's when I went back and I decided to just push through 2 months, 6 weeks of pure waist training. Like I said, I've got a method that I use when I'm waist training to get to that point, and then I stuck to that. And for those of you who don't know, I also used to be a food blogger in my past life. Food is still a major part of my life. So in this journey, I literally had a program, and I think, you know, people always tell, yeah, abs are made in the kitchen. Like, guys, abs are already made in the kitchen. Like if you really want a small waist, you really need to watch what you eat. And if you are interested in actually just getting a step-by-step as to how that happened and what exactly I did in those 6 weeks to get those changes, I'd be more than happy to share that with you guys. Just let me know, hit me up with the questions. But this is just generally answering the question whether it worked for me or not. And it did, and I did this over a 6-week period, and these are the results. And in between I did lose a bit of weight. So also just understand, I'm not a dietitian, I'm not anything medical, so this is just stuff that I learned through my own research, taking my own time to watch videos, just taking my time in the kitchen just to explore specific recipes that work well for my body. And over time I actually realized certain foods will really just help you with losing, and just that little nudge of just shedding that little water weight and that belly fat, like here and there. But like I said, let me know if you want any more help with that. But yes, that was me in a 6-week period, and that's what waist training did for me. I hadn't taken pictures prior, like back when I did it in 2015, and then also I think I went back and I did it again in 2018. 2018, I had that was actually the prime of my body, and it did wonders. If you saw me in the gym, you know those people that come to the gym with gloves and yoga mats, the waist trainer was my fighter. You know when they say, who's your fighter? And they'll say, okay, this is the island, you're a survivor, and you need a fighter for weight loss. What? And I would honestly just pull out a waist trainer. I would literally just be like, I got this. I pull out my waist trainer and this is it. I got this in the bag. So that's what I actually did. And then, so that was between the 6 weeks. And then so some tips that I actually have for waist training is, please know that every waist trainer is different. Like I said, I think I mentioned it prior, or I'm not sure if I have, but I typically use 2 waist trainers. I use the Sauna Sweat one, and you can actually find both these waist trainers on my website. I use that one for exercises because I find that it's more flexible. There's a little bit more, it's a lot more permeable than so the neoprene, the material allows it's more breathable than your latex type of waist trainers. So I find that it works really well for my workouts, and especially when I'm trying to lose that water weight. So that's definitely something. Choose the right waist trainer. So I will typically not work out with this one because it has a relatively high resistance, and it's only when I'm in my prime, when I'm really, really fit and I'm really just when you really don't even feel that you're waist training anymore, where you just want something a little bit harder. And that's when I know the sauna isn't going to work for me, and I want something a little bit more hardcore. And that's when I go into my hook waist trainers, and then I know my body's back. So typically that is what I do. So pick the right waist trainer for you. And if you need help, again, reach out. I am more than willing to help you. And then the next thing is, guys, oh my gosh, the size thing is a headache. Yeah. Please, I know your desired goal is to be a small. However, if you are wearing a large, extra large, and you really want to have a small waist, really just understand your body. When I started waist training, when I started in the pictures before, I could not fit myself into an extra small waist trainer. I tried myself and I was like, a girl it's not happening. And everyone knows their body, so it really just didn't even fit anymore. So know your body, and if you're also having problems with that, hit me up. So get the right size for yourself, and you don't want the bulges. You don't want, a lot of my clients will tell me they want a small, and then they'll show me, and I'm like, that is not the right fit for you, because you typically don't want stuff hanging out of your waist trainer. You want it all inside so that the work can happen inside. This is literally like a pressure cooker, so it must cook inside this thing. All the fat, all the nonis must cook. Can't in be done. So yeah, you want it to be inside, and thereafter, so then you pick the right size, and that won't happen. So you really don't want it rolling over. You don't want to get a super small size, and And if that is the case, and if you're bulging and it's rolling over, it's literally telling you that you need to get a size up. Size up. Okay. If you are typically new to waist training, you are going to find it super uncomfortable. Like, you're gonna find it to be very uncomfortable because you're not used to it. I find that it works for me because I have back problems as well. So it actually even helps my back. Like, I can literally sleep and not have to put a pillow under my knees. So I also tell people is that please, to get more comfortable. So if you're new to waist training, to get more comfortable, please break your waist trainer in. So don't go in at wearing it for 8 hours and thinking that tomorrow morning you're going to wake up and your waist is smaller. It is not one of those fad diets. So waist training requires consistency. If you are consistent with this thing, you are going to see the maximum results. And if you're really wanting to see the best results, be consistent. Whether it's wearing it every day or wearing it every second day, you're guaranteed to see the results. Like, I'm not even playing. Like, this isn't a diet pill. This is literally a guarantee. You're going to see results if you are waist training every odd or every single day. Okay. Another tip for other people is, like I said, I think just eat the right foods. Like, what you eat is so important, and you really can't be eating. So even if you are wanting to cheat every once in a while, I still do recommend that the foods that you do eat, make sure that you have got like portion size. Like, you can't. So you know what your weakness is. I know mine is definitely McDonald's. I know mine is Jelly Jubes. Like, I am obsessed with those sweets and Coke Zero. So I needed to just cut out those things. So you know what you want, and yeah. So watch what you eat, be consistent, and yes, look at the right size. Definitely wear the right size into waist training. But yes, I think I have really just covered that, and I'm hopeful that you guys understand a little bit about waist training, and I hope that you understand that it actually did work. So this is basically like my testimony. Yeah, boo. Yes. Yeah, but it was my testimony, and I wanted to share with you guys that it actually did work. It worked for me, and it can work for you if you let it work for you. So thank you so much for tuning into this video. I'm very excited, and if you are wanting to see a little bit more content, and I can actually even share a lot of the stuff with you, then like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification button. No, what is it? It's like, just do that. Like, just like and subscribe to my channel. And yes.